Hey, what is up, everybody? I am back with another live stream, and today's episode is going to be a mindset episode talking about my first track meet of the 2026 season, what my strategy going into this race is, and this is also day 22 of streaming every day for the next 100 days. As you can see, I'm wearing some pink eye black today. I don't know, my friends keep saying it's weird, but you know what? I think it's pretty tough, not gonna lie, and so I'm gonna be wearing it to my race tomorrow. Anyway, with my race coming up, you have to talk about mindset. What's up, Mushy God VR? How's it going? Um, to be honest, I don't really usually plan out my track meets, but I really want to try it this year because in high school, track becomes more of a strategic event instead of just, hey, I'm going to run this race and try to win. I'm going to try to be more intentional with my races. I'm going to be more intentional with everything I do in 2026, and I think it's important to take some time before your race, before your event, whether that's baseball, getting a job, whatever it may be, and taking the time to be intentional and make a plan. So, first of all, I want to talk about my day with y'all viewers because it's just fun to talk about what I did today. So, I played some baseball today. As you can see, my hair is actually crazy. It's starting to grow back from when I buzzed my head, and I have absolute mega hat hair. Like, look at this hair right now. As you can see, I'm wearing the pink eye black. What do you guys think about this? Should I rock this during my season? Yes or no? I will be rocking this black hat during the season right here. So you got the black hat and then the pink eye black. I think it looks pretty tough, but I don't know. Some of the viewers don't like it, so we'll see if I rock it. Some of my baseball teammates thought it was weird too, but that's whatever. I kind of just enjoy the pink eye black, and I'm probably gonna rock it. So, hair's growing in, pretty interesting. Okay, but to the actual race, tomorrow is my first meet of 2026. I am running three events. I am running the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, and the 400-meter dash. If you are new to track and field and you don't understand what these races are, basically, in simple terms, the 100-meter dash is basically running the length of a football field and sprinting it as fast as you can. The 200-meter dash is half a lap around a real track, and the 400-meter dash is a quarter-mile sprint. So the 400 is an entire lap around the track, which is a quarter of a mile. And the game plan going into these events is that I can set a baseline for where I'm at, because last year I was in middle school, so I wasn't necessarily fast or good at any of these events. So I want to set a baseline time to know where I'm at. Last year my PR in the 200-meter dash was 27 seconds, which means my split was 13.5. Okay, so I was running a football field in 13.5 seconds, and I did that back to back. That was my split in the 200-meter dash. My best time in the 100-meter dash last year was 12.7, but I have officially timed faster times this year already, way faster. So my 100-meter dash, I believe it to be around 12.4, 12.3 at the moment. Not 100% sure because we haven't officially timed it, but I have timed it multiple times myself, and it's sitting around 12.3. And that's when I wasn't in shape to run at all. So I wasn't like in shape to run no races. I wasn't like ready at all. So here's the game plan. We're going to start off with the 400 first and go down. The 400-meter race is one of the toughest races, if not the toughest race in track, because around the 300-meter mark, the lactic acid hits you like a truck. You genuinely feel like you're going to die. You lose feeling in your legs, your core, and your arms, and you hit max exhaustion very, very quickly. And the reason this happens is because you're running a quarter of a mile, but instead of just like jogging it slowly, you're dead sprinting it. You're basically sprinting this quarter of a mile at 100% speed. I mean, if you pace it the right way, you're probably running it at 95% of max capacity. And then in the last 100 meters, which is a football field, you're running it at 100% capacity. So basically, what happens is you end up almost dying. This is the hardest race in track. Why do I do the hardest race in track? Well, the biggest reason is because a lot of people don't do it, so the competition is skewed. So I actually have potential to run this race. In track and field, every new beginner, they run the 100-meter dash because it's easy. And every average runner, they run the 200-meter dash because it's just a little bit harder than your 100-meter. But once you get 400 meters and up, so if you're running a race that is 400 meters, 800 meters, 1200 meters, those races are less competitive because less people want to go through the pain of those races. Last year, I ran a 400 meter in 1.1 minute 1 second. So it took me 61 seconds to complete the lap. That's a split of about 14 and a half seconds per lap, and it wasn't a very competitive time at all. That time didn't get me anywhere. I wouldn't qualify for state. I wouldn't qualify for anything with that time. And now that I'm in sophomore year of high school, I'm trying to get a varsity time so that I can run with the varsity team. And I'm about 2 seconds off of a varsity time. Okay. Varsity times are like really, really, really hard to get because 2 seconds, it sounds like a lot, but 2 seconds, no. 2 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, okay? But 2 seconds is like, the difference of 2 seconds and not in track and field is like being able to run a 40-yard dash in 5.5 versus 6.6, okay? It's a big difference. So shaving off a second is going to be really hard. So the game plan for the 400-meter dash, okay, is I'm going to run the first 200 meters and I'm going to come out at a slowish pace. I'm going to do the first 200 in 28 seconds. 28 seconds is about 2 seconds above my PR in that race. So it'll give me a little bit of push. It'll give me a little bit of like, hey, this is kind of a resting race. Even though I'm sprinting, I'm not going to burn myself out in the first 100 meters. The goal is my engine doesn't die too early because the pacing is weird enough that if I run it wrong, I'm going to die really, really early in the race. And I do not want that to happen because that would just be terrible. I don't want to be running the 100 and then my engine just dies, okay? So we're finishing going through the first half of the whole lap, okay? First half is done. Now we're at 200 meters, okay? Starting at 200 meters, I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. And basically, the goal... Sorry if this is like a boring stream. I wonder if it is or not. But basically, the last 200 meters, we're going to go for position. So once we hit 200 meters on the track, I'm going to turn on the jets and we're going to turn into the roundabout, which is a very important part of the race so that you have positioning so you can pass your opponent. I'm going to kick into that 250 mark, which is where everyone starts to die. Their energy starts to die. And then in the last 150 meters of the race, I'm going to start dead sprinting for 150 meters and just pray that my body doesn't shut down, okay? And if I pace it the right way, I don't think my body will shut down because I've been training for this race. But my goal pace for this race is 57 seconds. 57 seconds is a competitive time in the 400 meter. I think if I got 57 seconds, I would be pretty satisfied with that. 57 seconds, it would be dropping my PR by 4 seconds. So it'd be dropping 1 second from every 100 meter dash. And I think that's definitely possible. So as far as that goes, that is the main goal, is a 57 second 400 meter dash. Okay, how do I handle pressure? Pressure builds as an athlete. Every second, every rep, you're going to feel pressure. At the start line of a race, the adrenaline that you feel going through your body is crazy. As you step into the blocks, the world gets silent. The crowd gets silent. Everybody is silent. The runners are locking in to just try to run their best race. So the pressure is really handled in that 0.1 second you have while you are getting in the blocks. So you are going to see me in every race. I'm going to jump one time to get my lactic acid and my body going. I'm gonna jump one time to get my body moving, my body consistent, and I'm gonna jump to get my body where it needs to be. Then you're gonna see me step into the blocks like this, and I'm gonna be right here, and I'm just gonna wait right here, and I'm just gonna sit there, and I'm gonna close my eyes like this, and I'm just gonna focus on blocking everything out. I know that sounds weird. It's my pattern. It's my strategy to focus on the race. It's my strategy to know that I'm going to be able to perform at my best, the best of my ability. Everyone has their own routine. It's different for everybody. But literally, if you watch any of my races, I'll close my eyes at the start line just like this. I'm in my blocks. I'm feeling everything. It's basically like I'm meditating right before the race. Just, breathing, getting ready. I'm going to come right here, set, and then we're off to the races. And at that point, everything is just about trusting the training that I've done, right? I don't know how the race is going to go. I'm actually really, really nervous that my plans are not going to happen. I'm really scared that I'm not going to run the times I want. I'm scared. There's a lot of fear before a race. You don't know what's going to happen. You really just don't know how your competitors are going to compete. But I need to slow down my mind and just get ready for the race. Okay. Next, we're going into my 200-meter goal. My 200-meter goal is pretty simple. I want to beat my PR from last year. Last year's PR was 27 seconds, exactly. And I was stuck at 25 seconds. I was stuck at 27 seconds. I couldn't beat it no matter what I did. This year, I want to get anything under 27 seconds in the 200-meter dash. That's a pretty easy split. It's a 13.5 second split, okay? 13.5. I can make that. I know I can make that. So we're going to try to break 27 seconds in the 200, and that will be the goal for this race, is to break that 27. Next is going to be the 100-meter dash. In the 100-meter dash, I want to focus on getting out of my blocks strong. Every time I get into the blocks, I somehow have a bad start. I'm not consistent at starting in the blocks. And you really need to be consistent in the blocks to win in track and field. And I don't have to have a perfect start. I don't have to have a perfect round in the blocks. But the 100-meter dash is how I practice getting out of the blocks. So I use the 100 and the 200 as training tools. The real race that I want to win is the 400-meter. And that's my game plan for the race. Now, I do need to talk about You Got This, gang. Thank you so much. I'm literally so nervous, dude. The pressure of my first track meet has been building since, like, baseball practice. When baseball practice ended, I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm actually racing tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going for a varsity time right now, so we'll see if I get that. But since you weren't here and you just pulled up, I'll tell you the goals for time. 57 seconds in the 400-meter, 26 seconds in the 200-meter, and sub 12 seconds in the 100-meter. So somewhere in 11 in that area. I think that's basically the solid time block I want to go. And if you guys want to see me hit these time goals, then please stick around on the channel, hit that subscribe button, do all those good things, because I'm going to come back tomorrow after the race, and I'm going to tell y'all if I hit those goals. I'm also going to video the races so that I can show you guys them in a future video, because I want to use this stream as my commitment, as the goals. And then I want to compare this stream to what I actually do in my races to see if I was close. I think that's important, is being able to, just compare and contrast things to each other. Does anybody have any advice for me as I go into this race? Or does anybody play any sports and want to talk about their sport? I'm just curious, what do you guys do to calm your pressure in life? Because the biggest thing with track is I struggle with the pressure. Once the race is about to start, I just freeze up. The pressure gets really bad. And I don't know, does anyone have any strategies for that, or a way that you cope with pressure? Because I am not good under pressure. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for this race. But yeah, next we're going to say, what do I need to improve on before race day? Race day, when it comes down to race day, I need to improve on mental toughness. The 400 meter is about being mentally strong. When I get into those blocks, when I start that race, I've got to be able to tell my legs and tell myself that I'm going to keep going for that 1 minute of pain. There is going to be a minute straight of me just hurting. Running is about pain and being able to get through it. I like to meditate a lot. I know that sounds weird for a high schooler to do, but I like to vision what's going to happen. So the first thing I like to vision is like a really good block start where I come out of the blocks cleanly. I wonder if this sounds weird to my viewers watching this, but I like to envision me coming out. Next, I like to envision the runners side by side with me, and I like to envision like the form that they're doing. Like, what are our bodies actually doing in this moment? The third thing I envision, and I hate to say this, but it's part of the game plan, is I envision the pain I'm going to be in at the end. Because if you've never done a sport before, it's really hard to know how it's going to feel. But in every sport, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, track, there's going to be some type of pain that you're in. And if you can vision that pain, you'll be able to get through it easier when it happens. And this is not a good thing to do with everything. You don't want to just envision all the bad things, all the negative things in life. You don't want to ride on those kind of things. But envisioning pain can actually be very, very helpful. It can be a good strategy if you do it in moderation. So I envision all the good things first. I try to calm my nerves, and then I'm going to envision the pain, because at the end of the race, if I'm not in pain, then I didn't do the race good enough. If I'm not feeling tired, if I'm not feeling like my legs want to give out, then I didn't race the race the way I should have. In the 100-meter dash, you should feel like you're going to throw up by the end of that thing because you accelerate so fast. And in the 400-meter, your legs should feel like they're going to fall off because of the lactic acid that it's going to produce. And so I'm just trying to mentally prep myself. Like, the night before the race is about mental prep, and it's about eating, hydrating, and prepping mentally for the race. Some things I'm excited for about this race are: one, it's my first race of the season, so it's a time to test out benchmarks and see what I'm capable of. Number two, I'm really excited to do this race alongside my friends and people who I care about. I've been training for weeks now to run the 400, the 200, and the 100, and now I actually get to do it and see what happens. And it's just a surreal feeling that it's happening tomorrow, and that I'm gonna get out there on the track and I'm gonna show what I'm made of. I really don't want to make a fool of myself. I think that's a big thing in sports that everyone thinks is gonna happen, but genuinely, it's more about the progress I'm making, other than the win. I love how Perks and a God said, "You got this, gang," and I love that. I love that. We got people who are cheering me on, and it's great. So yeah, this is just about the race day mindset. And now I'm gonna say, after the meet, I'm gonna come back to see if I actually met my goals. It is currently March 16th, 2026, and March 17th, 2026 is my first race. Hopefully, I met all my goals, but I'll see you guys tomorrow to see if that actually happens. Love you guys.